Hey guys, and welcome back to my kitchen. We're making Sorullitos de Maiz. We're making these with queso, and let's see what else we can come up with. Anyways, this is gonna be an easy recipe. Let's just get right to it. To begin with, I want to show you really quickly the ingredients we're going to be using. So for starters, we're going to need water. I'm going to start by using 2.5 cups of water. That's the amount I'm going to use first. I'm keeping a whole cup here because I might need a little bit more. I'm also going to be using 1.5 tablespoons of sugar and about a pinch to 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I use kosher salt. 2 tablespoons of butter, and I'm going to use give or take approximately 2 cups of cornmeal. I'm using cornmeal, the one that's fine, so I'll show you that cornmeal. I don't know how good of a thing you see here, but it's fairly fine. So I'm going to be using 2 cups of fine cornmeal. So let's just get started. Don't forget, like it as of now. Go hit that like button. Subscribe to my channel if you have not yet subscribed. And don't forget to share. Let's get started. So here we go. Don't mind the mess in my house because I got everybody in this house. You hear, in other words, the mess of noise. The dogs are going crazy and everything. So in my pot, I am going to add 2 cups, 2.5 cups. I'm going to add 2.5 cups of water. 2.5 cups of water. To that, I'm going to add my salt and sugar. And I'm going to add, Chooper, stop, my butter. And I'm going to let that start going. I'm going to be using a wooden spoon. So I prefer a wooden spoon. It's up to you what you prefer, but I'm using a wooden spoon. And I'm also going to start by measuring out my cornmeal. Make sure, if I'm going to give you a recipe, if this is a recipe, try to go by the recipe. I forgot to tell you, I am going to be using cheese. Now, what I have is a Mexican blend because I'm not in the mood to go and shred cheese. So I'm going to use this Mexican blend, which is it has mild cheddar, Monterey Jack, quesadilla queso, which is a really good melting cheese, and asadero cheese blend. That's what it is. So I'm gonna be adding that at the end, not yet. And I will be using about 1 cup of cheese. So I'm gonna wait for the butter to melt before I add my cornmeal. As you can see, pretty much the butter is melting. There's still a little bit of it going, but what I'm going to do is that I'm going to add my cornmeal. So 1 cup, and then we go grab a 2nd cup. Everything, make sure when you're making a recipe that calls for a specific recipe, follow the recipe. So we're going to go ahead and add the 2 cups, and we're going to continue to stir it to make sure that there's no clumps and lumps and all that fun stuff. You want to lower your temperature to like a medium. And what I'm doing is, as I'm stirring, I'm flattening it out with my wooden spoon. Make sure there's no lumps in here. Make sure. And we're going to cook this for, I'm going to say maybe a minute or 2. We want to cook out a little bit of that cornmeal. Now, I'm going to give you a quick thing. If you want to make this a little sweeter, I'm going to switch and I'm going to use a spatula really quickly. Just because right now it's a little easier on my hand. So, if you want to make it sweeter, you may add a little bit more. I'm going to add just a little bit more water to this. I think it needs it. So, you're going to more or less eyeball this. You want to make sure it's a specific texture. So I'm trying to get everything in there. I want to cook a little bit of that cornmeal. You can see it has no no clumps. You see it? No clumps. You know what? I'm gonna add, I added the full 2 cups. It also gonna depend on you, but I added the full 2 cups. I didn't think I was gonna need it, but I guess the brand of cornmeal that I bought. Anyway, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna let this go in. Look how beautiful. And now we're gonna shut it off. After about a minute or 2, we shut it off. And with my mixture off, I'm gonna go ahead now and add my queso, my cheese. And we want to fold it in. This might take a little bit of a little bit out of you, but it'll incorporate. So my cheese is incorporated, and now we're going to remove it and put it into a different bowl. So we're just gonna remove our masa and just put it into a cup. And we're gonna allow this to cool for a few minutes before we work with it. Okay, now so what we're gonna do now is that I'm gonna grab about a tablespoon, give or take, and no, it's a little, about a tablespoon, and we're gonna just form it into little sorullitos, or little cylinders, or whatever you want to call them. Make sure, first of all, make sure you get that pliable consistency so they look nice. And you can either make them like this or make them a little square at the end. And when you make them like that, put them aside. Again, you grab, so it's about more like about a teaspoon and a half is what I'm doing. So again, I continue doing this until we have a few. Now you can use just cheddar cheese if you want. I use the mix, which is what I had, but normally I would do this with cheddar cheese. So again, I'm just doing that in between, and we're just gonna make them as pretty or whatever as you want. In Puerto Rico, the way I remember my mom making these were, she would take a little bit and she will make them where the ends were like puntiagudo, you know, where the ends look like that. So she will make them like that. So these ends were skinnier than the other end. Anyways, you continue making them like this. Another quick thing we're gonna do is that we're gonna take some masa, roughly about a tablespoon, and we're gonna make it flat in our hands. And we're going to grab a piece or 2 of guava paste, and we're gonna grab some, I'm using mozzarella cheese, and we're gonna start by closing it. And what we're gonna do now is simply, if you see something like this and you want to add a little bit more masa on it to cover it, and we're gonna do this so that way we make sure all the sides are closed. And we have sorullos of did I just see a little? No, sorullos of guava and cheese. So again, you take about this much, about a golf ball, and you're gonna open, make it like that, an indent, and we want to add your guava inside, and we're gonna add your queso. If I had block cheese, it would be so much easier, but this is all I have. So we're gonna close it. Again, we're closing it. Again, you see how my guava is sticking out? We want to make sure that the guava, it is completely submerged into the masa. So if it shows up a little bit, add a little bit more masa on the top. And then you're going to continue to press it in until you have like a little sorullito of queso and guayaba. I'm going to finish doing these so I can show you exactly how to cook these. So we're in our skillet. We're going to put, I'm using canola oil. You don't want too much, but you don't want too little. You need it to fry. And we're going to fry that. And while that is frying, well, while that is warming, I'm going to grab some mayo. We're going to grab some mayo. And we're going to grab mayo in a little bowl. And we're going to second. My mayo's almost finished and I don't want to go and grab it. Anyway, so you're gonna grab some mayo. Depends how much you're gonna make. I'm gonna make what I have. So we're gonna grab mayo. We're gonna grab also 1 piece of garlic, 1 little clove of garlic. While that's heating up, and we are going to grate the garlic using a microplane or a little grater, whatever you have. It's just a matter of getting the garlic super fine. All in the meantime, we're just trying to get that oil warm, well, hot, not warm, hot. We need it to be hot. I'm looking for my microplane. For some reason, I can't find it. Anyways, so, okay, I got it. So, using one of these, we're going to just grate it. I'm going to show you really quickly. You're going to get a consistency like this. So we're gonna do that right over our mayo. I'm using 1 little clove of garlic. I'll show you really quickly what it looks like. And just take it out of there, put it into your mayo. The reason you're grating it is because you don't want no big pieces of raw garlic in your mouth, you know? And then we're gonna use some ketchup. And so we're putting ketchup directly in here. It's not equal parts. Waiting for that to heat up, and we're gonna go ahead and give it a little turn. We're making what it's called in Puerto Rico. This is the mother sauce, mayo ketchup, and that's it. So it's like 1 part mayo to half part. I'm sorry, 1 part mayo, yeah, to half part, or a 1/3 part. What is it? Ketchup. And we put the back of a wooden spoon in here, and if it starts to bubble, you know the water is ready. I mean the oil, but it's not yet. So let's give it a few seconds. Anyways, in the meantime, this is a great dish. Let's say you have company coming over, you can make these ahead of time. You can freeze them. They freeze absolutely well. And you put a platter on your table with a bunch of these, and you can make these plain. You can make some with cheese. You can fill them with just about anything you want to. And just give yourself put it on your table, and that's it. Okay, so you can see it's starting to bubble. Okay, so that's when we know we are ready. And we're gonna start by adding a few of these at a time. We're gonna start by doing the ones that are not stuffed, and we're gonna cook these till golden. You don't want to overcrowd the pan, so I'm gonna just do a few on each side, and we're gonna cook them until they are golden on all sides. So at this point, you see them, they're nicely golden. We're gonna remove them out of the oil and put them on paper towels to drain. And we are going to put another batch in to fry. This time we're going to go ahead and do the bigger ones. We put our temperature down to medium. You can tell these are different sizes. We're going to go ahead and cook 4 of these. The rest we'll put them away for another day. And we'll cook these exactly the same way until they're golden brown. We go spinning them and turning them until all sides are nicely golden. So these are now ready, and you could tell because the cheese is starting to ooze right out of it. And we put these in paper towels to drain. And we're just going to go ahead and fry another quick little set of the ones that do not have the cheese and guava. And now I'll simply show you what they look like. So there you have it. These are our Sorullitos de Maiz Lala's Way. These are regular cheese but not stuffed, and then these are guava and cheese. Yeah, this is just money, okay? This is just money. Anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for spending time with me. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so that way anytime I put up a video, you guys get it first, okay? God bless you guys, and I will see you on the next video. Bye!